Hey guys, it's Christy. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to update you on yesterday's very short presser in the Kiely Rodni disappearance. And we're going to talk about the timeline and still just trying to make sense of everything. So yesterday's presser was very short, less than 9 minutes long. So, as you can imagine, not a lot of information came out. The only person that spoke was the public information officer. And let's see, over my notes. They've dedicated over 9,000 hours and they have over 900 tips. And this was probably the biggest thing that came out of the presser, and it's really disturbing and upsetting to think that this is going on. But she said that it has recently come to our attention and we have received several reports of adults trying to discourage people and possibly teens from coming forward with information that could help us locate Kiely. We'd like to remind everyone again that our interest is not in arresting anyone or prosecuting any individuals or holding them accountable for any underage drinking or illicit drug activity that did occur, that we know occurred at the Prosser campground Friday evening. Our sole purpose in this investigation and search is to bring Kiely home to her family, and we need the community's help. What? People are going around intimidating others not to come forward with their information. That's crazy. I mean, everything that we've heard, this is this really tight-knit community and all this, and you would think they want to help bring this girl home. And I understand, you know, maybe these adults, whoever they are, that are trying to dissuade people from coming forward. Maybe it's people that were at the party that night, and maybe they were the ones that were responsible for supplying the alcohol or the drugs or whatever. But I think that law enforcement has made it abundantly clear that that's not what they're interested in right now. That, you know, they don't care. They're not trying to arrest anybody for that. That they just want information that leads to Kiely coming home. So that was crazy to me. And like I said, I thought it was very disturbing to think that people would actually be doing that. And I'm glad that it's being reported to law enforcement that this is happening. And it may explain, you know, why we don't have more information. They also, another big thing was they have an anonymous portal to upload photos and videos. And they said that you don't need to put in your name, your phone number, your email, anything. It's completely anonymous. And they have created a Linktree link. So all of their tip links are consolidated into one place for you. So I will put the new Linktree link for tips on Kiely in the description of this video. Then the questions, what we got out of those, the tips have not slowed down. They're pouring in every hour. Most leads have not panned out and have not been fruitful. They said dissuading people from coming forward impedes the investigation. If people are out there telling people who have potentially valuable information not to come forward, that is an issue. If they can prove that these adults are impeding this investigation with solid evidence, there could be consequences. These people are from the North Lake Tahoe and Truckee area. And let's see, she basically wrapped up by saying there's no new information to share. New leads are developed every day. And it was described as looking for a needle in a haystack, but we don't know where the haystack is. It's terrible. And then they had a community meeting last night at 5:30 as well. And at the community meeting, law enforcement said the car could be anywhere in the Western United States after this amount of time, and asked people to look for it as you drive in your daily life and check parking lots that you park in. So that is really all that we got as far as an update with the presser and the community meeting yesterday. So true crime never sleeps, and apparently neither do I. So I kind of started trying to organize the timeline a little bit for us. And I made a lot of notes here, so we're going to go over that. A few questions that I came up with. I don't know, just kind of an overview. Like I said, today is 1 week since she went missing. Technically, you know, the party was Friday night. Saturday morning was when she was reported missing, and it's Saturday. So here we are, and all we can do is just keep going over it and trying to make the stories that we have got from that day, try to put them into some sort of context that makes sense and see where we have gone since then. So that's what we're going to do now. Let's kind of dive in. I'm going to put her picture up here, excuse me, with her car. And then there's the picture of the sticker that's on the back of her car. The license tag is up there, but I feel like if those tags were still on that car and it's out there driving around somewhere, that it would have been picked up on by a license plate reader at some point. I mean, granted, they could be on back roads or whatever where there aren't license plate readers, but in the off chance that those aren't the plates on there, just look at the car. I mean, honestly, I guess the sticker could be removed too, but try to remember the sticker. And all right, let's dive into this. So on August 5th, which was the Friday, Kiely decides to go to the party rather than go to the car show she had been planning to attend with her family. So her mom said that they had been planning for a while to go to a car show in Reno at Hot August Nights, I believe, is the event. And then for whatever reason, she changed her mind and decided that instead of going to the car show as planned with her family, that she was going to attend this party instead. And I've kind of been trying to come up with, you know, why would she have changed her mind kind of, you know, last minute that day when this party had been planned for, you know, about a month. Everybody knew about this party through Snapchat. So she had known about it, and it feels like, you know, she really didn't have any interest in going because she had made plans with her family. So I wonder if we know that she supposedly took Mags, her friend, to the party, and then about 10 minutes after getting there, Mags left with her boyfriend, Ross. So did Mags need a ride to the party? You know, did she ask Kiely, like, hey, can you give me a ride to the party because I need to get there because I'm going to meet up with my boyfriend? You know, I don't know why she wouldn't have just went with her boyfriend unless it was one of those situations, maybe maybe Mag's family didn't like the boyfriend and they were still seeing each other. I don't know, but was it something like that? Did somebody get in contact with her like, hey, can you give me a lift to the party? And she just decided, yeah, I'll take you and I'll hang out for a bit. Or did somebody say they were going to be at the party and they wanted to meet up with her and she wanted to go hang out with that person? I mean, something happened on Friday that changed her plans. And like I said, I kind of want to know what that is. It may be significant, it may not be. So we were told that she spends the hours before the party with a friend. Now, Sammy said that she had spent that day, Kiely had spent that day with Max. Then when Jagger's interview came out, the girl in that interview, Kate, said that they had spent the day together before the party. Remember, they made creme brulee and all that stuff. Remember, I think they said they had hung out, I believe, in Reno. But regardless, she apparently had hung out with somebody in the hours preceding the party. Then we have the surveillance footage that Kiely was spotted on at 6:08 p.m. at a local business in Truckee. According to Sammy, Kiely arrived at the party with Mags at around 10 p.m. Now remember, Sammy said that she got there about 9 and Kiely and Mags got there about an hour later, so 10 is approximate. And then in Jagger's interview, he said that Kiely had texted him at 10:30. Around 11, Sammy and Kiely are at Kylie's car charging their phones. And then at around 11:30, Kiely texts her mom saying that she'll be leaving at 12:15 to come straight home. So that is really the end of Friday night, because we're going to be starting to head into midnight, so we're going to transition to Saturday. Now, one thing, Kylie's mom in an interview said that normally when Kiely was firming up plans, she would say, we're going to be here at this time. And then when they left, she'd say, okay, we're leaving now and we're going here. So normally what would have occurred is she would have sent this text saying, I'm leaving at 12:15. Then she would have followed that text up with a text to her mom saying, okay, I'm leaving, I'm on my way, whatever. That didn't happen that night. Kiely never sent the text saying that she was leaving. And I kind of feel like that's significant. I feel like patterns are always something we should pay attention to. And that's a change in Kylie's normal pattern of behavior as far as informing her mom of what she's doing. Again, could be significant, could not be significant, but I just wanted to add that in there. Now, let's see if I can real quick. So they have, Kylie's family has iPhones and they share their location data with each other. And her mom gave us this information. She said they said the family members share cell phone data, and she checked her daughter's phone, and the last location data was at the campground at 12:03 a.m. Then she learned that Snapchat data shows her cell phone in the same location at around 12:30. So that means, if we're believing everything that's coming out, that she said she was going to leave at 12:15, and she did not. At least her phone did not. Her phone was still at the campground at 12:30. So going into the early morning hours of August 6th, we've got last location data shared from her phone, 12:03 a.m. from the campground. And then we have this new player in the mix. We have a new friend to introduce you to. Whose friend? Well, we'll get to that. This girl's name is Elsa. Elsa Pekarek, possibly? Elsa. Now, Elsa says that she saw Kiely at about 12 a.m. at the party. So, you know me, social media connections, friends, how's everybody? You know, I looked on Elsa's IG, and she's followed by Sammy, of course. Now, there's no connection between Elsa and Mags, Elsa and Jagger, Elsa and Kiely, other than, of course, she's following the FindKiely Instagram. But the only connection that Elsa has with other people that have put themselves in the middle of this case is Sammy, which I find kind of interesting because, I mean, she very well could have seen Kiely at midnight, but it's just odd that, you know, we finally get somebody else to come forward that says they saw her, and of course they're connected to Sammy. Again, maybe it means something, maybe it doesn't. Just kind of interesting. Okay, I can take that down. Let's go back. That. All right, so Elsa says she saw her about midnight. The last location data is 12:03. Sammy, remember they had made arrangements for Kiely to take her home when they were at the car charging their phones at 11. But then when they went back to the party, they immediately split up because Sammy's going to find a ride with somebody else. Which that's a whole nother ball of wax. But at 12:25, Sammy finds Kiely to say goodbye. Just a minute. She finds Kiely to tell her goodbye and let her know that she is leaving the party and she has found a ride with somebody else. 12:25. They hug each other, they say goodbye, and Sammy says, "Get home safe." Even though Sammy later said she thought that Kiely was going to be spending the night at the campground, she told her to get home safe. Snapchat data shows her cell phone at the campground at 12:30 a.m. Law enforcement says her phone shut off at 12:33 a.m. And Sammy says Kiely called her at 12:36 a.m. to ask her where she was and did she still need a ride. Remember, because there's that long 11-minute gap where Kiely apparently forgot that Sammy had just told her goodbye at the party, that she was leaving and she had a ride with somebody else. Apparently Kiely forgot, so she had to call her to see where she was and did she need a ride. Remember? Yeah. Okay. So after 12:36, there's nothing. Mom woke up about 8 a.m., she said, and she realized that Kiely wasn't there and the car wasn't in the driveway. Now, when she first gets up, she thinks, well, maybe she didn't wake me up when she got home, you know. And so she checks her phone and she sees she never got that text from Kiely that she was on the way. So she realizes Kylie's not home and her car's not there. And she starts sending texts and calling her, and there's no response. So she starts to panic. Kiely was supposed to meet friends at Starbucks at 9. And she was going camping and hiking, I believe, with Mags. I don't know if it was a larger group or whatever, but she was supposed to meeting at Starbucks at 9 to head out for this camping, hiking trip that day. And she didn't show up. So Kiely's reported missing. Placer County Sheriff's Office put out a notice and report that her car is also missing. And family and friends, they go back and they start searching at the campground and the surrounding area. August 7th, Placer County Sheriff's Office established their tip line, and officials began the massive search at the Prosser family campground. On August 8th, detectives start following up on leads and continue to search the campground area with the Falcon 30 helicopter. Multiple law enforcement agencies from Northern California and Nevada and the FBI are involved. Placer County Sheriff's Office helicopters fly over the I-80 corridor between Donner Summit and the Nevada state line, as well as around the Prosser Lake area. August 9th, search crews comb Lake Prosser by boat and with swimmers and divers, and a land-based search is done near the shoreline. The sheriff's office received more than 100 tips, but none led to Kiely or her vehicle. There are... I can't even read my notes. 77. I'm sorry. I got tired eyes, and when I was writing this, I was tired, and yeah, I literally cannot even read my own handwriting. There are 77 law enforcement personnel assigned to the case. August 10th, we get the presser. They're pleading for party attendees to come forward. They say that they've received a large amount of video from the party, but no clues that have led them to Kiely's whereabouts. The search now includes several aircraft, including helicopters, airplanes, flying information, dive teams, ATVs, search dogs, and at least 100 members of law enforcement, including members of the FBI, who focused on Campsite 4. There's 265 personnel assigned to the case. The number of tips is up to 300. Investigators say they still have not recovered any items they believe belong to Kiely and are still searching for witnesses who saw Kiely physically leave the party. August 11th, the FBI lists Kiely as a missing person and releases a poster with her information. Placer County Sheriff's Office announces that it has activated the Code Red emergency alert system. More than 220 law enforcement personnel have been assigned to the search. Officials have received more than 500 tips from across the country. Investigators collected and bagged evidence found near the campground. August 12th, Placer County Sheriff's Office has received more than 900 tips, still searching for Kiely and her vehicle. Search dogs, aircraft, and multiple law enforcement vehicles arrived at the campground Friday morning to continue following up on leads and evidence discovered on Thursday. Officials closed off an area of the campground where evidence is being collected for processing in hopes of locating Kiely and or her vehicle. And they create the link tree. So that's where we're at now. Nothing new has come out yet this morning. So yeah, not a lot has really been learned since day one, and it's very frustrating. Few things that I wrote down yesterday. A lot of people have been asking, with all of the water that is in the area, that yes, it's been searched, but sorry guys, computer and me are not getting along. A lot of people have been asking about Adventures with Purpose. If you don't know Adventures with Purpose, they have a YouTube channel. They volunteer their time and effort in, normally it's cold cases of people that their vehicles have been presumed, I guess would be the best way to say it, lost in the water. They go in and they have a lot of success with finding these vehicles and getting them recovered, often with the person inside the vehicle. If you haven't ever watched them, check them out. It's very interesting. Like I said, they're really good at what they do. They're really good at figuring out approximate locations of, you know, where the vehicle could have entered, how far out it might have floated, things like that. And they can usually narrow in a pretty tight search area pretty quickly. It's really, it's very interesting. But people have been asking about getting Adventures with Purpose involved in Kiely's case. And I agree that they would be an asset, but since they normally only work on cold cases, I didn't think it was probably even within the realm of possibility. But yesterday, Adventures with Purpose put this out, and it says, many of you have asked about Kiely Rodni, who was the 16-year-old missing out of California. After we wrap up a few of our commitments here in the Midwest, if she has not been found, we will route through California on our way back to Oregon at the end of the month. So that's really cool. They are based out of Oregon, and they are willing, if help is still needed. Cut it out, guys. If help is still needed when they are on their way back after they finish up what they're doing in the Midwest, they have said that they will come and assist in the search for Kiely or her vehicle in the water. So that was really cool. And then this came out, and I don't know how I feel about it. They're doing this music event, this concert, whatever you want to call it, Country for Kiely, today at Truckee Regional Park from 1 to 4. It's free, but they're saying that they're taking donations for the family. And I don't know. One thing that bothers me about it is the time. 1 to 4. Now, why are we going to stop searching during daylight hours to go listen to music? That bothers me. I mean, couldn't you have done it in the evening? Couldn't you have done it at dark? You know, like everybody go out and search, and then when you're done, come and, you know, relax and listen to music or whatever. But that was one of the first things that really jumped out at me, was like, why are we going to stop searching in the daylight hours and go listen to music? Another thing that bothers me about it is that it is, well, it's a week. It's been a week. And so now we're going to have this little get together. I don't know. It just, something about it strikes me odd. And how they word it, it says, in gratitude, we honor the love and support from our amazing teens and community at large that have been on the front lines of the crisis since day one. Team Kiely is strong. Wear white in solidarity. Let's bring our girl home. Something about the word crisis struck me funny. maybe it's just because I'm tired. Maybe it's just because I'm frustrated. I don't know. Um, but yeah, that's going on today, this afternoon out there. Um, like I said, crisis to me is just odd wording. To me, this whole music thing is just more weird. I don't want to say bad, but weird optics in a case that has already been filled with weird optics. Um, I don't know. It just, I don't know. Let me know what you think about it. Maybe it's just me. Um, like I said, it's free, uh, but you can donate, and I guess that money is going to help the family. I don't know if it'll be put towards the $50,000 reward that's being offered, because they've already got a GoFundMe set up that has got a lot of money donated to it, and I'm pretty sure that's supposed to go towards the reward. Um, I don't know. Um, so yeah, that's going on today. I just think it's weird that we're gonna take time away from searching to go hang out and listen to music. There was word on social media, so I mean, take it for what it's worth, but people were asking, could this maybe have been a TikTok pop-up party? Which I know in the news here recently, there was one in New Jersey that thousands of people descended on this place, and there were a lot of arrests made and things like that. I don't necessarily know that that's what this was. I think the circulation it got on Snapchat for those 4 weeks was probably enough to bring everybody in that showed up. I think that was probably enough to get this party as out of hand as it was. Let's see, what else do we want to talk about? I mean, I guess I still have a lot of questions around the timeline, and mostly that's because it is so heavily reliant on the statements of Sammy and anybody that really seems to play a role in the timeline, like Mags. Jagger got that text. Now this Elsa has come forward, and they're all connected to Sammy. So, it is that something? Is it not? What happened after she sent the text to her mom at 11:30? I feel like that could possibly be when something went down. And speculatively, we're true crimers here, right? Did she send that text to her mom, or did somebody else send it? We know there were a lot of drugs at this party. We know there was a lot of drinking at this party. It's been said that there were cocaine and shrooms. Could this have been something that just went terribly wrong? And being young people, they panicked and now they're trying to cover it up. It could have been alcohol poisoning. Could it have been bad drugs? Fentanyl, huge problem right now. Bad trip with the shrooms. Could it have been something like that? And now these young people, a lot of them in college, getting ready to go to college, thinking, oh crap, this happened and now my life is over, kind of thing, which it's not. It won't be, because you're not going to be held responsible for what happened. Um, you know, uh, Not like you forced her to do something. Uh, but the police, they have made it so clear that that's not where their interest lies. They don't care about the alcohol and the drugs. They just want to know what happened. So could something have happened? I know I don't have any experience with shrooms, but I looked it up. It said that it can make you anxious and paranoid. So let's say something happened. And again, this is a leap here because Sammy, she's got a mushroom emoji thing next to her name on Instagram. So I don't know, maybe she likes mushrooms. But what if, Sammy and her friends, they're tripping on shrooms and something happens to Kiely, and so they're anxious and they get paranoid and they're like, oh shit, we've got to cover this up. And that's, when everything starts, and they don't quite have their story straight because they were messed up, and that's why this timeline seems so janky. I don't know. And then thinking about them not being able to find the car. It's a decent sized car. It's an SUV. I would think at this point, after all the extensive searching out there, by foot with dirt bikes, ATVs, helicopters, airplanes, all of that, there's no sign that she ran off the road. There's no debris like pieces of the car, the license tag, the bumper, even like a small thing. That they haven't found anything connected to Kiely or connected to her vehicle. So it kind of feels like that car is being hidden. It's being stored somewhere. So, garages, barns, I don't know what kind of outbuildings they might have around there. I'm sure that they are searching, because I'm positive that if we are thinking of it, they have already thought of it. That's something that, potentially is somebody hiding the car. And if we find that car, I feel like wherever that car is, whoever it's linked to, they could have an answer that would help lead us from the car to Kiely. I have questions after going back over Sammy's statements of that night. She said that she thought that she was going to spend the night there. Then she told her to get home safe. Then the next day, Sammy immediately makes the leap that somebody must have been involved and Kiely's been abducted. Now, for me, if I'm at a party, and I'm not just saying now at my age, I'm saying even when I was a teenager, if I'm at a party and I decide that I'm not going to ride home with my friend because they're too drunk to drive me home, and then I wake up the next day and I find out that that friend didn't make it home, my first thought is going to be, oh shit, did they drive? I bet she decided instead of staying the night that she was going to try to get home, and she probably had an accident. That's where my mind would take me. Maybe I'm being too logical, but if I wake up and I find out that my friend's missing and the last time I saw her, I know she was too drunk to drive, I'm not going to say, oh, I bet she was abducted. That doesn't make sense. That doesn't track. The first thing you're going to think is, damn it, she drove and she had an accident. Right? I mean, that makes sense to me. Why do you make a leap to somebody else is involved and she was abducted immediately? And you're so adamant that you're the last person that saw her, you're the last person that talked to her, blah, blah, blah. But she said in an interview that when Kiely called her because she wanted to know where she was at and if she still needed a ride at 12:36, she knew Kiely was still at the party because she could hear the party in the background. She could hear the people in the background. Well, if they're close enough that you can hear them, they're close enough that they could see her. So therefore, you were not the last person to see her, right? I don't know. You guys know I've been frustrated with this case all week. It's not the only case I'm working on, believe it or not. And like I said, you know, true crime doesn't sleep, and apparently neither do I, because I have been staying up working on these cases, and a lot of the cases that I'm working on have been kind of getting pushed to the side because I'm so focused on Kiely, because this case doesn't feel right to me. Something's up, something happened, and somebody knows something. I want to know who was the last person to see her at that party besides Sammy. Who saw her after Sammy left? Anything. Something. I need something to start making sense. I need something to start adding up with these statements that are all over the map. I need somebody to make this make sense to me. Something's not right. Somebody knows something. If people are trying to intimidate people from coming forward, to me, that's a huge red flag. Why would you intimidate somebody from coming forward in a missing 16-year-old girl case if you didn't have something to hide? So if they do know who these people are that are intimidating people, they need to be putting pressure on them and questioning them really hard. They need to be taking a really good look at those people, because what are they afraid of? What are they worried that's going to get out? Are they the ones that have the key to solving this whole thing? I don't know. But I will wrap it up here. I'm sorry I kind of went on a rant there at the end, but like I said, this case is frustrating. It doesn't make sense. And I know the answer's out there. You know, I don't think this case is as complex as maybe we're making it out to be. I feel like, you know, sometimes the answer is just staring you in the face, whether you want to see it or not. And this just needs to be wrapped up. This girl needs to be found. She needs to be returned to her family. They deserve answers, and it needs to happen now. So if you know somebody, if you were there, if you know somebody that was there, if you know somebody that knows somebody that was there, talk. Get them to talk. Use the anonymous portal. I mean, how much easier can they make it for you? You won't even be identified. There's nothing to be afraid of. And adults that are intimidating people from coming forward, what if this was your person? What if this was your daughter? What if this was your sister? I mean, come on. Have a heart. Think about her family. Think about what they're going through. Do the right thing. My patience is running out for this one. It really is. If anything happens today, I will let you know. I am going to try to have a little bit of me time today, because football starts and my Dallas Cowboys are playing tonight, and I'm going to try to watch the game and focus on that instead of this for a little while. But if anything happens, you know, I'll be on it and I will update you. Just get this story out there, you guys. We can't let it go. We can't let it stop. Share her picture, share her story. share this video, share somebody's video, but keep it out there. Hashtag FindKiely on all your social media. Give this video a thumbs up to help boost it in the algorithm so we can get more eyes on it. More people will see it. Potentially somebody out there has seen something and they'll come across this video and it'll bring Kiely home. So please give it a thumbs up, comment, let me know what you think about all of this. Let me know, am I missing something? Does something make sense to you that I just haven't grasped yet? Explain it to me. Like I said, make it make sense to me. Comment and tell me where your thoughts are and maybe where mine should be. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, I encourage you to do so. Click the bell and click it to all, and you'll get notified every time I upload a video, not just about Kiely, but the other cases I'm following. I'm getting ready to start another new video series today as soon as I'm done with this video. Pretty excited about that one. But yeah, guys, just share it, get it out there. Don't quit talking about Kiely. Don't quit talking about this case. Don't quit posting her picture until she's found. Please don't let this die on the vine, okay? As always, thank you so much for stopping by and spending a little bit of your day with me to learn about Kiely and her case and listen to me rant like a crazy person. I really appreciate it. I love you all. Welcome all my new subscribers, and I will see y'all in the next one.